Video game demakes? You know what? I think I should demake my own channel, make it a lot more basic and everything, so yeah, let's see what that looks like. Why does everything still look the same? Right. My channel is already super basic, you can't break it down anymore. Well, that's a sad reality. Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with another kind of JRPG discussion video talking about modern JRPGs that I think would make for pretty cool demakes, right? And big reason why I want to do this is, one, I've been playing a lot of games of, that pixel art and everything of, the Star Ocean Second Story remake, you got, your Octopath Traveler, there's Sea of Stars, things like that, right? And I just kind of kept thinking too, like, a lot of us talk about, games we would love to see remade and remastered, right? And I have a lot of those too for JRPGs of like the Shadowheart games, Skies of Arcadia, things like that, right? So, of course, I would love to see those games on modern platforms, but because we kind of talk about that a lot, I thought, hey, it might be fun to talk about kind of these modern JRPGs broken down into these kind of pixel art experiences, pixel art 2D experiences, right? And yeah, I thought it'd be fun, and so only picked about 7 games here, and the other thing too is, for modern games, I'm just picking ones that are kind of on current home consoles of, the Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One Series X, so yeah, that's kind of all we have here, so yeah, let's just get started. And kind of the first game that came to mind when I thought about this was Pokémon VIII here, so, I haven't dove too much into this game yet, but, we all know about the kind of performance issues this game has, right? I haven't run into any big ones yet, like definitely frame rate drops, but nothing major as of yet. I'm expecting once I dive into this game I will, but, and because these Pokemon games already use such an old school style to them of, no voice acting, Pokemon still just grunt away, right? Like they don't actually say their own names, like I think only the Pokepark games, they actually had the Pokemon say their names, and very few Pokemon games, they don't have too much voice acting, right? And even the ones that do, it's usually very basic, there's not too much, right? So I would think Pokemon VIII, if you made this in the style of the old Game Boy games, people would go nuts for it, and yeah, I think that would be really cool. And then the other one that I thought about when doing this video right away was actually the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel series, because we got the Sky Trilogy of Liberal, we got the Crossbell Arc games, which, those 5 games there use kind of that, pixel art style, and I would think it would be really neat to see Cold Steel get that same sort of treatment, to see kind of Green and all of Class 7 in that style, along with, just Trista and every place they kind of visit, right? And, plus, because with the later games and everything like that, like, it's all connected together, right? So you would already have kind of the template set for a lot of these places, right? So I think Trails of Cold Steel would be really neat if they kind of did that. And then the next one I have is, kind of sticking with Falcom, is I thought Issei Lacrimosa Donna would be cool in this experience. Now, I love this game, and I love everything about it, but I'm just saying I think pixel art style would be cool, especially again with older Ys games we got that, right? And I would think this game would play so much like Ys Origins, right? And yeah, that would be really cool. I was thinking of putting 9 here too, but I think that would be a bit more tricky just with the whole city setting and a lot of the powers you get with that one, right? But Ys 8, because you're kind of on this, isle and kind of surviving, like, that pixel art style would fit so well with Lacrimosa Donna, I would think, and would be really, really neat. Then we have a spin-off Final Fantasy game here, which I think if you did sort a demake of this, have this pixel art style, people would have gone nuts for this game way more than what we got with this one, and it's World of Final Fantasy. So I really do like this game. I think it's highly underrated, but understandably, people weren't really feeling it when it was revealed because, you got the chibi art style and the humans, the few humans in this, they have the Kingdom Hearts art style, but, the other characters and enemies you face and all that are all this chibi style, which, chibi and video games just do not mix well, it seems like, with audiences, right? But, I do think it's highly underrated, and of course, the game itself has very cringy dialogue, but I think if this game was fully pixel art, where, you would have all these characters of Final Fantasy, 1 through 13, just all in that style, because 15 was added in the Maxima, but you only get to meet Noxus in, a fishing minigame, right? But I would think people would have gone nuts, people would have been like, yeah, that's the way you celebrate Final Fantasy, right? And I would think if you did that style, people would have been a lot more receptive to the game itself. And then next we have Atelier Ryza here, so the Ryza trilogy, fantastic games, and I could have picked pretty much any of the Atelier games, but I just picked Ryza since it's kind of the most current of the, Atelier games, because, these games, when they originally started, which would have been on the PS1, for us it would have been PS2, outside Japan, and, those styles, the early games we got were kind of isometric view of this pixel art, right? And I would think something with the Ryza trilogy, especially with kind of how everything's set up and kind of Ryza's personality and everything, I would think that pixel art kind of 2D style would just, one of those games where having these, 2D pixel art character models on 3D backgrounds, I think would work really well for the game, and, it's still a fantastic trilogy, but I think that would be really neat to look at. Then next, we just have the Xenoblade Chronicles games, so as I would think this would be cool because after playing Star Ocean's second story, that style I think would work so well with the Xenoblade games too, because you have they're set up kind of like single player MMOs, right? And if you had the same style as, Star Ocean Second Story but, because Xenoblade is this auto battle system and everything, I just think that would be really neat to kind of traverse the world in, again, this, 2D character models in a 3D kind of world map, right? And I just think that would be really neat experience. Maybe not for kind of the mainline Xenoblade games because of, while they're nothing to write home about graphically, their production values are very high, especially the music is fantastic in those games, so some sort of spin-off I think would be really, really cool for that. But of course, this is a demake video, so, I would think still in that style it would be pretty cool to see. And then the final game I have here is Yakuza Like a Dragon, as I think this would be hilarious in that style, you know, because these games are already so over the top. And yeah, I picked Like a Dragon because this was the start of a full kind of JRPG turn-based experience, right? Because the previous Yakuza games, along with the, you know, the Judgment games, have, you know, kind of RPG elements to them, but I wouldn't call them full kind of JRPGs, right? But Yakuza Like a Dragon, having, you know, following the story of Ichiban, right? And kind of rising from, yeah, just a betrayal, right? And so it would just be cool, especially, you know, he keeps talking about this whole, like, you know, Dragon Quest keeps being brought up by him, and man, it would just be so neat. And of course, you got your, you know, summons in the, you know, sense of friends. You got, you know, a Pokemon type side quest. It's just is so ridiculous already that I don't think if you made even little sections just this pixel art style, that it would not look out of place in a game like that, because of just, yes, there's a lot of drama in it, but man, they're so over the top and crazy that I would love to see even just, you know, some sort of filter for battles. If you could do something like that, that would be that would be so hilarious, I would think. So those are kind of my 7s or modern JRPGs that I think would make for a cool Demakes. So what do you think? Do you agree, disagree? What JRPGs would you like to see in kind of an older style? Not exact, like for me, I just kind of picked pixel art, but maybe you would like to see them more in like a, you know, PS1 style, like, because we got that, like, there's a fan-made game with Bloodborne that is in a PS1 style, right? So maybe you want something like that or wherever. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And like I said, this was fun to discuss and think about, because normally, yeah, when we talk about these things, it's always about kind of, yeah, which games we want to see remade or remastered, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. Bye! Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, or if you just want to see any of my skits and then nothing else and leave the video, that's fine too. Thanks everyone, take care.